This should be good. Brian Shapiro, Copemaxxing. It's awesome.
Another story that I didn't want to take too much time to talk about, but I did forget about it. Um, for some of you that may or may not know, um, I've gotten into debates, conversations, even yesterday, between me and Andrew Wilson, who was a right wing, evangelical, chain smoking idiot who probably is the most insecure person that I've ever spoken to in my life. And I've debated him, and I've debated a couple other people in his orbit that I just think are all despicable human beings.
Acts like a Christian, but he's not.
Yeah, he's a fake Christian, and
No true Christian fallacy? Question mark?
I've talked about this before, but that's here nor there. So, a friend of mine, Sean, I do his talk show once in a while, and it's where I do some of these debates outside of this studio. Sean sends me a text. He goes, "Hey, did you see that Andrew Wilson did a cartoon about you?" I said, "Oh, again?" Because he's done this before, because the guy's like obsessed with me. Like, I'll tweet something out and it takes like 5 seconds, right? I'll just call him a name or something, whatever. The guy actually took the time to get voiceover work, and somebody did a cartoon about me. And I want to play it for you.
It's kind of funny because he's sitting there like, oh, you know, he made a cartoon about me, blah blah blah, like almost implying that like, oh, I wouldn't waste my time on such a thing. It's like, but so fighting the soy boy like you in a parking lot is better than making content that'll reach a bigger audience. That's somehow pathetic. Personally, I would say losing a debate and then bringing up your debate opponent's dead child while crying in an attempt to appeal to emotion during your closing statement is infinitely more pathetic. You fucking soy leprechaun.
I want to talk a little bit about it. I'll be honest with you, the first time I saw this, I laughed at it, and then I said to myself, how pathetic of an adult do you have to be to take the time?
Like,
obsessed. He's very much obsessed with me.
He's very
This is
Brian focused.
yet very Brian focused. This is the cartoon that Andrew Wilson put together about me on his social media platforms. Watch this.
I mean, you hear what you're saying? You're not tougher than me, okay? You're not smarter than me. I'm sure a lot of people tell you that you're really smart, but you're not smarter than me, okay?
You got what it takes, Brian.
You think so?
You're gonna look good out there. We're gonna look good out there.
I believe that. As a matter of fact, I know that.
I'm looking at you right now and I see a fucking champion.
Thank you.
But if you lose,
Well, I know.
shut up. God forbid you lose.
Brian Shapiro?
Yeah, that was virtue signal radioactive cum coming out of his mouth. This cartoon's awesome.
Brian Shapiro.
Back of factory settings. One Punch Man. Yeah, and see, instead of him wasting his time fighting him, he uses intellect to make content. You know, out of this new lolcow that is Brian Shapiro. It's actually brilliant. Why the fuck would he need to do that? And plus, why would he need to endanger his gun rights and all this other shit? Because he is, he's got a license and all that other shit. It would be an complete embarrassment to his accomplishments as a lawful gun owner to actually engage in something like that. It's stupid. It would prove to the tainted system we have that he's not capable of doing what he's doing, and that's totally not true. He doesn't need to engage in anything. He doesn't need to acknowledge you in any sort of way. He just needs to make fun of you, and that's what he's doing. And I totally agree.
go. That's the. I guess that's Andrew Wilson, the referee.
You know what the magazine would be saying?
Yeah, there you go.
If you put out a video like that, they would be going to hell and back trying to convince everyone that you're promoting violence and that they were afraid of you. And he put out a video of it showing him being violent. That's what you see. What I'm saying? See the double.
It's a cartoon, you fucking retard. What are you talking about? Like, what are you actually talking about? He was the one that propositioned him for a fight. he literally invited him to, or he was going to fight him in the parking lot at Uncensored America after Rachel's debate. And Andrew declined. I don't think you get how that actually works, bro. Brian wanted violence. Andrew did not. So are you going to tell your butt buddy over here that he was the one that incited violence, or are you going to sit here and shift the goalpost and blame it on MAGA as a whole? Like, are you fucking stupid? Sorry, I answered my own question. You are fucking stupid.
Double standard there?
So,
Because they would definitely play victim on this.
so the first time I saw it, I was laughing, and then I was thinking about how pathetic these people are. That they have to put together like some sort of cartoon because they're so upset that I embarrassed them in these debates. So
You embarrassed yourself in the debates, and he made a cartoon, okay? You have been doing cope stream after cope stream after cope stream ever since you engaged with him the first time. You are fucking obsessed with him. He lives rent-free in your head, bro.
instead of asking for another debate or, independently dissecting a debate, what they do is they just put together a cartoon. And so here's what I did. Immediately, here's what I did. And you can go to my social media. I'm going to talk about this, right? So I challenged all of them to a real boxing fight. Now, some people might not know this about me. I am no longer in the shape that I was in my 20s.
Who would have thought, bro? You probably weigh more than... You probably weighed 120 pounds back then, bro. And now you probably weigh a little bit more because your belly is full of... Never mind.
I did play 2 college sports in my late teens, early 20s. I did do a very little bit of amateur boxing when I was in my early 20s. Not a lot.
I was going to just basically say that you played sports that only included balls.
But I am extremely confident that if I had a couple months to get into some good shape, which I don't think it would take me long to do, I have to eat better and exercise and maybe do a little bit of training. So I offered the challenge to Rob Noor. And listen, let me be clear.
I'd pay to see that.
I know a lot of people.
Yeah, you'd pay to see your butt buddy get rocked by Andrew Wilson and Rob Noor. Dude, Brian Shapiro couldn't box or debate his way out of a wet paper bag with a fucking chainsaw. He couldn't. He just can't. It's fucking possible.
I'm mentioning some of these names. You don't know who the hell they are, and that's understandable. But a couple of those guys, Andrew Wilson and Rob Noor, I challenged them to a 3-ring fight, boxing. We're wearing headgear, of course. We don't want anybody to get seriously hurt. I challenged them to an actual real fight. What do you think they said?
They said, "Oh, you're being violent, Brian, and you're trying to make it political violence." I know exactly what they're going to say.
So
No,
They're going to find any way they can to get out of it.
This surprised me. So I'm DMing Andrew Wilson last night, and I just asked him. I said, "Would you like to do a 3-round boxing fight, and any ticket sales we sell, all the money we make from the stream would go to charity?" Right?
I would pay.
I'm not doing it for money. And then he said he made an excuse of his age, and it turns out. And by the way, Andrew Wilson looks like crap for his age. Do you know Andrew Wilson is like 4 years younger than me?
This guy is not an accurate representation of the fighting Irish, I will say.
He smokes like 400
Yeah,
cigarettes a day.
That's not my problem. If you're going to make a cartoon about somebody getting their ass beat in a boxing ring, then let's get it on and let's do it for real. So I asked him, and of course he declined. Of course Rob
You feel like he pussied out? Be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't really use that terminology, but I would say that he definitely wussied out.
My bad.
And I would say that I gave him the opportunity to have a real box, and I would gladly do it. I would
Did he
gladly
agree
do
to
it.
come on the show and debate you again? I mean, does he need
I don't
to?
even
Does
care.
he need to warm up with me? Tell him he can warm
I
up
don't.
with me.
I don't really care.
Say, look, Leonard.
Yeah, I don't care
agree-
about.
That guy Leonard over there is trying to get some fucking clout. That's why he's offered that up. He's just like, oh shit, when anybody types up Andrew Wilson, they're gonna see me and get some clout.
I don't care about debating him.
We know you don't want to be embarrassed, so
No, I
I'm
don't.
going to give you my co-host. And
Yeah, but I don't care about debating him again because he's bad faith debater. But the fact of the matter is that they
No.
both wussied out.
He doesn't need to be good or bad faith with you, dude. He just needs to flip your old worldview onto its head and watch you debate yourself and lose. That's all he needs to do.
I tweeted at him and then I sent him direct messages and then I said, "Do you play any sports at all? Like we could shoot hoops. I hoop once in a while, basketball, deck hockey, golf even." And then he says, "We could shoot." And I said, "Oh, okay. Let's do a shooting match." And then he's asking for all this money. Well, it turns out he wanted to shoot a gun. That was his sport.
oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
I'm sure you would destroy him. But listen, he's not interested in any real physical combat in any way, shape, or form. He just pays somebody to make cartoons. Very bizarre, I would say. The behavior's a little bit bizarre, but anyway, that was the cartoon that he put out there. And of course, his sicko cultist fans love it. These are mostly divorced men, middle-aged men who hate women. And I asked Andrew, I said, "Andrew, why do you hate women so much last night?"
That's a fucking loaded question. I would argue you hate them more than Andrew. That's for damn sure.
And he wouldn't give me an honest answer. I said, "You really hate women." And then his wife came into the picture. I've said some not so nice things about his wife. And by the way, I
Be
stand
honest
by
about
everything I
that.
said about his wife. I'm debating her, and if it gets personal, I'll say those things again about her. I really don't care.
Dickhead.
And then I sent him some pictures of some of the lovely ladies that I was hanging out with last week in San Diego.
As probably a distraction from the implications that you might just fucking play with Wiener, bro. That's what I see that as. So that's more cope.
He called them all hookers, which, by the way, they're not.
Probably worse.
That's so MAGA,
Yeah,
though.
and I
That is
just said-
so MAGA.
I just said, "You enjoy your wife, Rachel Wilson, and her 3 baby daddies. It sounds like a wonderful life you're living, Andrew, of debating people, smoking cigarettes indoors with your microphone, and hanging out with Rachel. It sounds like a lot of fun." And he got very jealous, and he called my friends hookers. And that was really the end of the conversation.
Jealous of women that probably have a bunch of like fucking STDs and shit, dude. So you had a gaggle of OnlyFans hookers. Big deal, big fucking deal, bro. That's not a flex, man. It's just not a flex.
The DM conversation is actually quite funny. I was going to release it publicly, but I'll hold off on it a little bit. But anyway, that's what happened
Well,
yesterday.
I'll take a shooting match against him. And just quickly, so the Citizens Academy alumni, they used to have a Citizens Academy every year for the police department that I work for. They used to have a shoot to raise money every year,
Yeah.
and I won it so many years in a row. This is a true story. I won it so many years in a row. They put $100 bounty on my head for the next shoot to see if anyone could beat me. And of course, I didn't lose. So if Andrew Wilson,
Yeah, dude. Charlie Kirk got shot in the throat by a soy leftist that was more able-bodied than you, bro. I don't think that's gonna look good for you, bro.
wants to, get macho and
Yeah.
go to the range and see
Yeah.
who can who gets a better score, I say let's go. We'll film it and we'll post it.
But anyway, I can tell you that I'm not taking the time to pay somebody to make cartoons about Andrew.
You wouldn't even know how to write the fucking script, dude. You wouldn't, because the left can't meme for shit. They can't.
I'm not taking the time to pay somebody to write up a script about Andrew.
No, you're hanging out with girls in San
Yeah,
Diego
And that was the point that I was trying to make with him. It's like I have better things to do than
Right.
to make cartoons about you, and so I find the behavior.
right. It wasn't flaunting. It was saying, hey,
Well, and the
this
reason
is
why I
what
brought
I've
that
been
up,
doing.
the reason why I brought that up is because Andrew had said that he said this publicly that he refuses to be friends with any women, and he just hates women, and
That's not how logic works, bro. And he refuses to be friends with women because ops will try to frame him. They will never try to frame you because no one believes that you don't play with Wiener. That's a fucking checkmate, bro. You're stupid.
realize the people out there that usually hate women are usually the women that give them no attention, that hate them back.
very insecure,
Yeah. So
very unsure of themselves.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that. That's the cartoon.
That was insane fucking copage, dude. What a dumbass.